WED. Anyways, this is not interesting content. That's going to get edited out. But you could say you had a wife at this point. Would you jump on to a 7 month of not seeing her and 2 months of seeing her?
No, I couldn't do it.
I thought about it, though. You can, solve all of your life's problems if you dedicate 7 months of your life. And then I really thought about it again. I'm like, that is completely fucking stupid. You give up yourself. But for someone like Michael, who is probably in real life not named Michael, he's probably some Asian name I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
Because that's what the Chinese people do, is they are Zingvan Ich,
Shaho.
but they change their name to Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking that. They got to make it simple.
How come the Chinese, whenever the Chinese men come over here from China, they can't speak as well as the Chinese women that come over here?
I have no idea. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about on that.
No?
Chinese women always sound angry to me. It does not matter. It's just like Russian men. They could be telling the funniest story about anything, but Chinese women always sound like they're telling me to go straight to hell. I've been to some really authentic Chinese restaurants here in Orlando, and he was just like, "You order beef fried rice? Beef fried rice you order?" I'm like, "Yes, Karen, I ordered the beef fried rice. And you got shrimp?" And I'm not trying to be, it's just the way I perceive it. And I'm sure they're sweet and kind ladies.
They're just yelling at you.
But it's not like a Norwegian person who's all like, "You want to go through snowballs?"
Oh.
Yeah. It's just in a warm and inviting language. Well,
you want to wake up on the thighs?
But my wife's Japanese. So my wife's Japanese. I mean, the languages are not even close. When my wife is talking to her family, she's obviously speaking in her natural tongue and shit. So it sounds, I don't know, lighthearted and fun. But I still see Chinese men and women in restaurants talking to each other. It's like, "You pass the goddamn butter!" It's loud and angry, and I don't get it.
It's they're saying things from their that their blood is rushing in their forehead every time they say things like, "How dare you!"
It sounds angry as fuck.
They have that whole drool. Whenever they say things they're just mad when they're saying shit.
But they're really being normal.
How do you do? I'm doing fine. Thank you. You passed the butter.
Now you just sound like a pissy Frenchman who has a fucking butt plug up his ass.
Exactly. That's what they sound like.
Okay. I don't know how that relates to anything, but we're going on. We're moving on.
Butt plugs.
So he's telling me about how his kid got some kind of fever some odd years ago, 6-7 years ago. And cell phones weren't really an international thing at this time. They were kind of, we're talking iPhone 1 era.
Oh, wow.
So there was not,
back.
Yeah, half of Africa doesn't even know what a cell phone is kind of scenario.
Yeah, this is way back before cell phones even hit Africa.
Yeah, there was no Boost Mobile at this point.
No.
You know what I mean? There was Sprint and a few others.
So we didn't even get the good. We didn't even get the good lynching videos yet.
You're such an asshole. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
I'm sorry, but they have some good ass witch burning videos coming out of that region.
I'll take your word for it, sir. I'll take your word for it. So he's telling me, and the boat is allowing him to use the satellite phone to call every hour to check on the status of his kid to see if something dramatically changed, because apparently that particular disease is a really intense hour-by-hour kind of disease where you can go from being okay 1 hour to defecating out your mouth the next.
Oh my gosh.
It's fucking terrible. It's red fever or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Yellow fever or something like that. It's really fucking bad. So, anyways, he was telling us this story, and I mean, if the worst had happened, they would have docked, and as soon as they would have docked, they would have let him fly back home. Obviously, they're available to. I mean, they were willing to do that, fly him home because of family.
Yeah.
And then you have the second tier waiter, who basically is this really personable guy, knows how to kind of be able to talk to anybody and be I don't know. He's just a stand-up guy who gives a damn about the people on his cruise and who he's taking care of. You know, like that. The consumers actually matter to me, and he reached us on like a personal level. There was a whole lot of interactions between him and my son that were appropriate and not weird, and no one overstepped their bounds. And then the top tier guy was like from fucking Chechnya, and he was nice. No, he was from the Ukraine.
He sounds like he has a very tiny forehead.
Actually, the opposite. He was completely bald, so it kind of it fucking just went back into his head. It was, but I thought. It was weird because his head was shaped oddly, like because there was no baby helmets when he was like, who knows what he was doing, but his name was Aziz. And every time I looked at him, I started thinking of Indian comedian Aziz. And I was like, you're not him. You're not him.
You're not a Mr.
But he sounds like like an angry. I hate using the word Boris because we know two Borises, and I'm moving on. Not going to talk about either. But, I mean, he just reminded me of an Eastern European hard, tough guy. Just by the way he spoke. He's like, how was your meal tonight?
Like, wow.
Everything he said was with that Ukrainian deep accent that usually causes people like me to tremble in fear because usually it's followed by an AK-47 sound.
Yeah, because usually those guys are,
I mean, not all of them, but that's the way that America perceives the Chechens, the Ukrainians, the Russians, and all that. They're just fucking man's men. You know what I mean? Like, yo, manly man, sir.
Every time you see them, like even in animes, like whenever you see a Chechnyan like fight, like one example, like I was watching Baki, and there's this like dude who's like some Chechnyan like escaped convict, and he was like, how we used to solve like all our old problems is. He broke like a bunch of bottles over in some glue, and he rolled his hand in it, and he's like, we used to beat the shit out of each other like this.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
they did that in Bloodsport or something, in one of the Bloodsports. Like, we're not just taking this to one level. We're taking it to the extreme. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, the glass is going in. Van Damme is doing the quick face movements, studying the room, and getting ready to kill everybody one by one. Anyways, it was just like, it was so perfectly everything. Everything was on point for dinner. The meals were fantastic. Even the shit that my taste buds didn't like were good.
Really?
So, I don't like just straight up asparagus, but the way it was cooked was perfectly. There was nothing that we could see wrong. I think the only thing they fucked up was like a grilled cheese sandwich for my kid. It was fucking weird. And I was like, you guys can cook duck flambe, but you're fucking up a grilled cheese?
Yeah, like,
and it's on a panini press. I can obviously tell what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, man, pay attention. The cheese isn't melted, all right?
Yeah, like, come on now. That doesn't make no sense. Like, how do you do that? Like, that's just embarrassing now.
So there was a lot of smaller stories I wanted to talk about in the cruise, but let's face it, nobody wants to hear fucking 2 hours of me talking about how awesome my vacation was.
Hey guys, this is Aaron, and let me rub my vacation in your face.
Hello, this is Aaron with One Salty Cult telling you about his vacation. You too can ride on a cruise. All you have to do is pay the money to get on a cruise. And in that cruise, you will be escorted by happiness. Happiness being that you drink too much and you assume that everything is awesome. Yay!
Hooray!
That's my advertisement for every cruise ever. What is it with fucking old people getting on a cruise at 10:30 in the morning in Tampa, mind you, and start drinking gin and tonics and almost falling off a fucking boat? I've read 2 stories and it almost happened on my cruise. Seriously.
Really?
We were in the drill. Okay, so I guess I'll start at the beginning of the cruise, and I'll just kind of skip to important stuff. Cough. I did it. I coughed on the mic, and I'm not editing it out. Fuckers.
Fuck, dick, cunt, slap a hoe with your cunt.
Jesus Christ, that was completely unnecessary, and I approve. So my wife and I, the check-in time to get on the cruise is 10:30 a.m. And I'm a real man, and I never go by the rules.
Yeah.
So we got to get there by the deadline. That's bottom line. We got to get. So I'm
real
going to give
men
it.
carry all the groceries in one trip.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly my point. The car was packed and ready to go by I would say 10 o'clock. So we estimated arrival time was roughly 12:30, which is exactly 50%, which is exactly what I always give. If I go any harder than that, it bites me in the dick, and I don't want to deal with it. At 50%, I could say, I tried. I'm a jack of all trades for just trying something at a 50% ratio.
Yeah.
So we got there. This is 12:30, day one of the cruise, and we get through. My first interaction is this fucking security customs guy, right?
Yeah.
And usually everyone, when it comes to like a cruise, is, hey, how's it going? Let me tell you about my story. This is my whole life. And let me just, they're all cheery and happy and shit. It's like going to Disney.
Ugh.
I know, but everybody is sincerely happy to see you.
Or
at least they're sincere.
They're just sincerely happy.
This guy sincerely didn't give a fuck. He gave no fucks. My wife, who's been in the travel industry now with her airline for like, I don't know, almost 8 years now, who understands the travel game and goes through security multiple times a month, knows how to like interact with like the TSA and shit. Oh yeah, this is the port TSA, basically, for the cruise thing. And mind you, there's 3 aisles. It's not like the fucking airport where you got like 100 people waiting. That's why I didn't want to get there. That's why I didn't want to get there at fucking 10:30 in the morning, because we would have been in a long fucking line. So we get up to the guy's like, put the shit in the bin, run it through. And I'm not kidding. He was straightforward. He was fucking mad. He was probably hungover. And it was actually when Tampa was doing their pirate parade thing that they do out there. Tampa has this obsession with being the port of pirates. I don't know why. It's fucking weird. We'll talk about it in the future.
All right.
So basically, this guy is a total fucking douchebag. If you're listening to this dude, go slit your wrist up and down. Don't do it side to side. Make sure you're dead. You're a fucking bastard.
Yeah, do it a couple times.
The first impression of my trip, aside from getting lost trying to find the parking garage, which is, just my inability to act as a human being functionally, so I can't blame anyone but myself. But this guy fucking sets the tone for your cruise. He starts it off because why are you a goddamn prick? There's no reason. You look at a screen that shows you if there's any fucking bombs in your bag, and you move on.
That's about it. Your job's not really that hard.
Your job is not that hard. And when your job becomes hard and something is bad in the packages, you still let us through, and then you have like a SWAT team take us away.
Yeah.
You don't get to do anything. You're a fucking hall monitor, bitch. That's all you are. And I hate to discredit our TSA, but thank you, Adam Ruins Everything, for bringing security theater to our fucking reality.
Exactly.
It's security theater. If you think you are safe by going through a TSA security point, fucking wrong. Even post 9/11. Don't believe me, watch Adam Ruins Everything. I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'll let Adam ruin it for you.
What about the whole
It's all bullshit.
Even with the government shutdown, they're not as big. They're still big. Dicks?
It's all bullshit, though.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a veil. Like you're supposed to put the wool over your eyes and show you that everything is safe and secure, because these people are here to check and make sure you don't have a bomb or a gun, and that's all they do. They're just screening you. Once something happens, you're not a real cop. You don't have a gun. You don't have a taser.
They don't have nothing.
You have an angry belt line